Goblin. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me about last night's meeting and the dialogue. And, some teams did not practice today.
Mm.
What went into the decision you guys would go ahead and practice? And, what was the overall gist of what happened?
Yeah. So we were basically just coming to the team meeting. Doug said he had just seen that the NBA decided to cancel all of their games, and of course bringing attention to knowing that everybody also has seen the video of the guy being shot by the police in his back. And kind of just talked about it, talked about a little bit about his background and saying that him being a white male, growing up, he didn't have black friends really until he got to college, and he sees no color difference, he sees no race difference. And I commend Doug for that. Him being the leader of our team, open up the floor and letting guys talk, and express themselves. You have times where you may have younger guys, coming into the league, and they don't want to speak out on things like that because they may be scared if they speak out, they may get in trouble or get cut. And for Doug to open up the floor and say, anybody can express themselves, that let guys get a little bit more comfortable. And we had a couple guys talk. I was one of the guys who stood up and talked. Zach Ertz and Rodney McLeod talked as well, as far as us different experiences that we had, and maybe even trying to find a solution for the Philadelphia Eagles pushing forward.
What did you say?
Just me being from the South, born and raised in Dallas. I've seen growing up, 8th grade, 9th grade year. Friends hanging out at the movies, and just because it's a group of young African American teenagers hanging out, the police come over and they mess with us, and they pull out their tasers and tell everybody hands up, don't move. And I seen one of my friends actually didn't move. He kind of just moved his head, to look at one of our other friends, in fear, and he got shot in the face with a taser, and he had to wear it was a patch on his face, and he had to wear that for about I think about a month and a half in school. He had a patch on his face because the taser had burnt the skin on his face, and also. Growing up, like I said, driving in Dallas, you see the police, they get behind you. The first thing, as a young teenager, you say is, shh, like be quiet, turn the music down, like the police are behind you. But us young-minded, we're not even thinking like now, like the police can't hear inside of the car. They can't hear what we're saying, they can't hear what we're talking about. But that's just the fear of it. I have so many more experiences, but that was just kind of the things that I kind of highlighted that I experienced in my life.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bo and Jeff McLean.
Jalen, along those lines, did you guys consider not practicing today? What were those discussions like?
Yeah, as far as discussion, as far as not practicing, we didn't get to that extent. But as of right now, us as a team, we are trying to decide as a whole organization, picking one symbolic thing to show positivity. It's all this negative stuff that's going on in the world. We know it. Everybody else knows it. We don't have to keep highlighting it at this point. Trying to find one symbolic thing that shows positivity, that can show change, that can show hope, that shows, the Philadelphia Eagles are with equality, and that's the only goal.
What did you make of the the NBA doing what they did yesterday, those players?
Well, I commend them, man. You got guys who, some guys who may not even, first time in the playoffs, maybe getting a chance to win a world title. We won a world title here. That's, as an athlete, that's the only goal, and for them to say they're going to put that aside and, stand on, like I said, bringing in hope, trying to show equality, trying to show, something different. You know what I'm saying? I commend them for that.
McLean and then Kristen.
Jalen, I don't know if you're on the social justice committee or not, but Rodney said that you guys are meeting today to discuss a lot of these issues and the coordinated response of the team. Do you know what's on the table is in terms of how you guys are going to respond? Will there be something done during the anthem at the first game? Will be something worn throughout the season? Do you know?
Yeah, I think as of right now, me having a short, brief conversation with Rodney, the decision hasn't been made yet. Of course, there is a lot of options out there right now, whether it is doing something at the anthem, whether it is wearing a patch on the jersey or a decal on the helmet, whatever it may be. I think there is a lot of different options, but as of right now, just trying to figure out, like I said, one thing. And I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the only meeting. Probably have weekly meetings up until, the season in the first game and even our home game, and trying to decide what we're going to do as a team.
Kristen and then Martin.
Hey, Jalen. So, you discussed the decision for you guys to practice today. I'm curious what your message would be to someone who looks at what the NBA did yesterday and says that canceling games, boycotting games won't do anything to fight against systemic racism, racial injustice. What would be your message to those people?
At the end of the day, it's all about passing a message. When anytime any human being feels something is wrong or they're upset with something or they might not like it, you're going to take a stand on whatever it may be. It could be, your kids in the living room and they're making a mess and you just cleaned up the living room. You're going to take a stand and you're going to tell them like, no, you got to go get in timeout or whatever it may be. So I think as far as that goes, people saying, it may not do anything. I think it's just shining the light. Like people who may not have known, like my mom called me yesterday and she was like, yeah, I just seen that Milwaukee canceled their playoff game. And I was like, Mom, the whole NBA did. And she was like, oh, like she didn't know that. But that just goes into show. Now you have people like the games are canceled. Like, why did they cancel the games? And then now you see why they having Milwaukee, they came out and they expressed themselves and the WNBA did the same thing. And now you have people who didn't know that, the games were canceled, and once they know, and then they get the reason behind it. I think that was brilliant by the NBA, WNBA, even the NBL.
Martin and then Daniel.
Hey, Jalen. You had said earlier that you guys never really discussed not practicing today, but did it feel different to practice today with all that going on? And how did you feel personally about practicing? Like, did you think maybe you shouldn't have or didn't want to?
Yeah, as far as practice, I didn't feel any way about it as far as today. As far as other teams canceling practice today, like I said, I can commend them. That's the plan that they've had set, or they set for their team as far as today goes. Us as a team, we haven't had a set plan yet. We have our meeting today, the social injustice group. They have their meeting today, and once they get the plan set and they express it to the team, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be on board. But we didn't have our plan set yet. So until then, we still have work to be done.
Okay. But did it feel a little different, like being out there today with all that going on, or?
No, it didn't feel different because at the end of the day, I know that this team is working towards something to show equality and hope and that we are all equal. So knowing that we are working towards something, it'd be different if we wasn't, but we are working towards something. So I didn't feel different at all.
Thanks.
Yep.
Daniel and then Jeff Skversky.
Hey, Jalen, you were a rookie in 2016 when Malcolm started demonstrating during the national anthem. Just over the past 5 years, how have you kind of viewed the conversations and the evolution of this, going from someone raising their fist during the anthem to teams striking now in the playoffs? How do you kind of view that? And what's kind of your own personal evolution been, in finding your own voice, during these past couple of years?
Yeah, I can tell you now, back in 2016, the thoughts that I have now, I was, completely lost about, what Malcolm was doing. I didn't judge him, didn't feel no type of way about it because, like I said, me growing up, the things that I told Les was, it just is what it is with me. Me growing up, it was just like, you try to stay far away from the police because, if you do come in contact with the police, trouble can happen. Now me getting older and maturing more, and you see that not only what's going on, in the small city of Dallas, Texas, but all around the world. The social injustice, all of these different things that's going on. It just, brighten my eyes and brighten my mind that, it's kids that not only with with things that I was going through when I was 14, 15 years old that, they're going through now. It's other human beings, in Chicago and wherever, they're going through the same thing. So, not only just speaking up for, Dallas, but speaking up for the whole world.
We have time for one more here, so we'll wrap it up with Jeff Skversky.
Hey, Jalen, just kind of two things real quickly. The first one, I thought Rodney said the meeting was Friday. Did you guys move that up to today?
Friday? What is today?
Thursday.
Man,
right?
We got some of these camp days stacking up. It's Friday. These camp days are stacking up, man. It's Friday. Sorry.
It's Friday. Okay.
Yeah,
so
Friday.
You'll have that meeting Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I know we've talked about this during the off season when we did a couple interviews, but how upset and how just angry are you that we're kind of like back in this situation again after everything that happened in Minneapolis? I mean, do you feel like we're back almost to square one despite all the peaceful protesting and things that took place, months ago?
Yeah, I think at this point, the feeling is definitely upsetting, but at the same time, it's a numbing feeling, because we have to know this, right? This has been going on. It's still going on, and the only reason why we know about certain things is because somebody was, brave enough or smart enough to pull out their cell phone, right? If nobody was to pull out their cell phone, we wouldn't have known about that shooting. It probably would have just been, something that happened in that city, and it would have been on their news. But it might not have hit, nationwide. You know what I'm saying? So I think us, we just have to know that we gotta have change. It's gonna happen. It's been happening, and we just got to figure out a way to change it. That's the only answer that I have for you.